Merry Christmas, Katie. I am going live on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. Something I've only done once before, but I think we need to start getting back into it so we can grow this community of football fans, grow this family that we are building together, a family that I absolutely love. I wish every single person a Merry Christmas. I hope you guys have a great time with your family. I hope you have a great time wherever you're at, watching football, enjoying the games. And we have some great games on Christmas. Now, yes, I know the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders, a lot of people aren't too happy to see, but I am because of the history of those games. And then we got the Lions and Vikings, another history with the AFC North, and then the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. Yeah, I think the Eagles can beat the Bills. I do. What's up, John? The only way I think the Eagles can beat the Bills is if that Eagles defense is able to shut down Josh Allen. That is what's going to have to happen. I'm doing okay. Still, I know it's been 2 weeks, but I'm still getting used to my buddy right here, my neck brace. I got to wear it for 4 more weeks. So hate to say that our Denver needed that loss to go strong in the playoffs. Nope, I agree with you 100%. I said that night. I said it the day after that the Denver Broncos absolutely needed to lose to go into the playoffs, to kind of like reset, right? The Broncos needed to reset. They were living up on their hype. They were living up on, oh, they're the best defense, this, that. Well, they got humbled. And again, that's not taking anything away from the Jacksonville Jaguars. I've been saying all year that the Jaguars are a very good team. Now, it's not their fault they play in a small market. It's not, right? They play in Jacksonville. They play in Florida, where in Florida, good morning. In Florida, you've got, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Miami Dolphins, that are bigger markets than the Jacksonville Jaguars. But the Jaguars are slowly turning that table around, so to say. The Jaguars, when they came in existence in 1996, were a very good team. Mark Brunell was a quarterback. They had a very good team. Right, they beat the Denver Broncos in the playoffs when the Broncos were the number 1 seed. And, they have had some good years, but they've had a lot of bad years. And I said that the instability in Jacksonville, with going through so many head coaches with Trevor Lawrence, was going to be a problem. And when they hired Liam Cohen, I said earlier this year, Liam Cohen was a good hire. Good morning, Kyle Starry. Thank you for coming on my live on YouTube. I greatly appreciate it. I'm doing live on YouTube and on TikTok at the same time. Thank you guys so much for joining. We're going to be talking Week 17 football. So what is going on, Kenneth? I hope you guys are having a great Christmas Eve. I hope you guys are ready for Christmas. I hope you're ready for Christmas football.
I'm ready. I'm a Commanders fan tomorrow, so.
There you go, Katie. There you go.
Because I want Dallas out.
Well, you got to remember that the Cowboys are out. The Commanders are out. The Eagles have won their division. They're the only team in the NFL that has won their division. So right now, there are only 4 spots left in the playoffs. 2 on the AFC, 2 on the NFC. The 4th seed on both sides and the 7th seed. The Steelers need to win this week, and if they win and the Ravens lose, the Steelers lock it up. Merry Christmas, Blaze. Merry Christmas. I hope you're having a great day. If the Steelers win and the Ravens lose, the Steelers lock up the North. Now, the Texans have to keep winning out, right? They cannot slip.
I agree.
They cannot slip at all. They've got to win out to secure that 7th seed.
It's YouTube and those. It's crazy. I only have 14 people in healing, 90 in nail.
I know. I love it, man. I thought it would be something fun to do. I think I'm going to start doing it this way so that more people on YouTube can join the family, join the football community that I'm trying to build. And then when you look at the NFC, the Packers, right? I get with the loss with the Lions, it's hurt their playoff chances a lot when they lost to the Steelers. But there's still that chance. So the Packers, they have a tough game. They got to play the Ravens. Now, I don't know if Lamar Jackson will be playing. I don't know if Jordan Love will be playing. But again, when you look at it, they have two solid backup quarterbacks, one for the Ravens and one for the Packers. What's going on, Kyle Starry? I hope you guys can hear me on YouTube. If you can, please give me a thumbs up.
I can hear you on YouTube perfectly good because I'm Kyle Story, if you see that in the chat.
Okay, yes, I do see it. I'm glad you guys can see me. That's great. That is great.
Poor Jordan.
Merry Christmas, user 13781-850-96633. So we've got some good games coming up tomorrow on Christmas. We got some really good games, right? The Dallas Cowboys and the Commanders, again, neither one of them have nothing really to play for. They don't. But you want to finish your season out strong. I mean, you've got Brian Schottenheimer, the new head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. He's going to want to end the year strong. Right? He could end the year, if they win their final two games, he could end his final season going 8-1. Right? It's not a winning record, but it's not a losing record. The Commanders need to start looking at youth. Right? The Commanders are the oldest team in the NFL this year. They need to look for youth going into next year. I don't know if they're going to bring Zach Ertz back. I love Zach Ertz. That was absolutely a crucial, brutal injury. I hope that he does come back. Do I think Alabama will lose to Indiana? I think it's going to be a tough game. I really do, Chop Boy.
I have Indiana winning that, but this week for the NFL, I think I have the Cowboys and Lions and Broncos.
What? All right. Here, question here on YouTube. What do I think about the Broncos this season? I like where the Broncos are going. Now, I said going into this year with the Denver Broncos that my ceiling for the Broncos was making it to the divisional round. If they go past the divisional round, they're playing with house money. It's kind of like last year, right? Last year, we got to the playoffs and we lost to the Buffalo Bills, but we got to the playoffs. This year, you know, we've got a good team. We've got to win out, secure that number one overall spot, secure the AFC West. And so if we do that, the path to Santa Clara could be going through Mile High. Now, the Broncos need to fix things on defense. Plain simple, cut and dry. They need to fix things on defense.
Agreed.
They need to, you know, I hear a lot of people saying, well, they need to bench Riley Moss. I don't think you need to bench Moss. I think you need to play Jahdae Barron more. That's what I think.
What I would do with Riley Moss, to be honest with you, is that I would put him at tight end or like the third wide receiver.
Okay, Chop Boy, what do I think the number one position the Broncos need to upgrade in the offseason? That is plain simple and easy, the wide receivers. The Broncos need to upgrade their wide receiver room. I had said going into this year that the wide receiver room for the Denver Broncos was the weakest area on this team. I've said it all year, and I am still standing firm on that. Now, Pat Bryant, our rookie, has played good, but he has been injured. Going into year two, he should be better. Can Franklin turn his drops around in year three next year, right? He's only in year two. But the Broncos need to go out and get another sure-handed slot receiver or out receiver outside of Cortland Sutton. Are we going to bring J.K. Dobbins back? Would I like it? Yes. It is something that the Broncos, Sean Payton and George Payton, are going to have to sit down and decide. Right? He was on path for 1,000 yards rushing, and then he got hurt. And we know that J.K. Dobbins does have a history of injuries. So do we bring him back? Again, there are going to be wide receivers in free agency. They're going to be running backs in free agency. Breece Hall from the New York Jets is going to be a free agent. So do I like what I see in R.J. Harvey? I absolutely do. Can he be the lead back? Absolutely. Now, I was reading on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, that David Montgomery might want out of Detroit because they're not using him like they used to. Now, if David Montgomery would want out of Detroit, would I love to see him in Denver? Absolutely, because he would bring you that bruising back that the Broncos need. Somebody that can run through the A-gap for short yardages. He's bigger than RJ Harvey, right? That is the only problem I have with RJ is his size. And there's nothing he could do about it. But we need that bruising back, that short down back that can get us, a third down and 3, third down and 2. Somebody that that once you hand that ball off on a third down and short, you might be able to do it. So that's what I think. That's what I think. Now,
do you want to hear my honest opinion on that?
What's that, brother?
David Montgomery will go. I think he would go to a place like LA Rams or like some place that they don't have like a good running back room, but they need to get some running backs in to be better.
That makes a lot of sense. Again, there's going to be a lot of free agents this year, and you got to remember, the Denver Broncos are going into the 2026 season not carrying any more of that Russell Wilson dead cap. Would I bring back Singleton and John Franklin Myers? Absolutely, I would bring back John Franklin Myers. Now, you guys know I love Singleton. I am a huge Alex Singleton supporter, always have been. I think he's a great player. I think he's a great leader for this team. And he's also one of the Broncos' leading tacklers. Now, his coverage in the past is not that good. I get that. I understand that. But he is a good run-stopping linebacker. He's also a good motivator for that defense. And bringing Singleton back, it's not going to cost the Broncos a lot of money. Same thing with John Franklin Myers, unless John Franklin Myers wants to test free agency and see what he can get. Now, would I like JFM to come back? Absolutely. I love John Franklin Myers. I think him, Roach, and Allen on that line are absolutely unstoppable. So I would love it. But again, we've got players coming up like Q Robinson, right? Q Robertson, who we drafted out of Alabama, has played very well. Now, the problem with the Denver Broncos, and everybody needs to understand this, the problem with the Denver Broncos and Sean Payton, he does not like to play rookies that much in their rookie season. That's why you don't see a lot of Pat Bryant, but in spades. And of course, yeah, he's been hurt. RJ Harvey was thrusted into that starting role because J.K. Dobbins got hurt. Q Robinson, you don't see a lot of him either. Duval would take any of them interior lineman dudes. Absolutely, Kyle. If you could get a John Franklin Myers on that defense with the Jacksonville Jaguars next year, would absolutely work with that defense. It would help you with that zone scheme that the Jaguars like to run.
I think I'm gonna hop off for the day because I have things to get done before 2:30 because of Christmas Eve.
Absolutely, all videos, my brother. You know I love you, man.
Merry Christmas.
Have a Merry Christmas, all videos. I love you, brother. I hope you have a fantastic Christmas with your family. And I hope it's great, my brother. I love having you on here, and I love all the support you've given me on this channel.
See you on Friday if you want.
All right, my brother. Absolutely.
Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to bring back JFM.
I don't think we're going to bring back John Franklin Myers either, because if we were, we would have gotten the deal done already, like we did with Zach Allen, like we did with Nick Bonino. And another one we got to look at is Cooper, right? Are we going to bring back Cooper? I don't know if they're going to bring back Cooper.
Malcolm Roach this year.
We did re-sign Malcolm Roach that I absolutely love. And when you look at our draft pick, Q Robertson, right, out of Alabama, again, it's just Peyton's way of coaching. He does not like thrusting rookies as starters out there their first year. So going into next year, will we see a lot more of him? Absolutely. At a Q Robertson, absolutely, we will. But going into we got 2 games left of this year, and then we got the playoffs. Right? There's so many things that are coming down to the wire. There's good games on Christmas. There's good games on Saturday. Right, you got the Texans and the Chargers. That is a very important game. The Texans need this game. They do. If they want to secure that 7th overall spot in the playoffs, they 100% need to beat the Chargers in LA. Now you got the Ravens and the Packers. If the Ravens want any shot of winning the North, which right now it's kind of hard, they have to win this game. If the Packers want any shot of securing that 7th seed, they have to win this game. Would I take Mike Evans next year? Absolutely, but I don't know if the Buccaneers are going to let him walk out the door. Like I said, there are going to be a ton of free agents next year, a ton. Now, today is Christmas Eve. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people on here, which is fine. I just wanted to come on here for a couple hours, talk about the games that are coming up, and wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and hope everybody has a great time. So I understand why we don't have a lot of people on here, and I'm absolutely okay with it, right? It's Christmas Eve. A lot of people are traveling, spending time with their families, and getting ready for the big day tomorrow and the big games. But again, there are a lot of matchups, right? The Denver Broncos are going into Kansas City. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to be on their third or fourth string quarterback. It looks like Rashid Rice is going to be out. It looks like, who else is going to be out? Now, this is what I was reading from last night.
Trent McDuffie not going to be there.
Yeah, McDuffie's going to be out. Tyron Thornton's going to be out. Derek Nadati is going to be out, it looks like. And Nico Ramingo is going to be out as well. I think the Kansas City Chiefs are in a spot where they're going to just, shut it down. Just shut it down. So, because they've got to rebuild. The Kansas City Chiefs, well, I don't want to say rebuild. That's the wrong term. I think that they need to revitalize that team. Again, with 8 players counting for 80% of your cap going into 2026, and you're already $31 million over the cap. Travis Kelce is not coming back. I do believe Travis Kelce will retire. You're going to have Patrick Mahomes coming off of an ACL injury. Now, this is something that's very interesting that I was seeing last night. Patrick Mahomes was diagnosed in Kansas by their doctors, by the Chiefs doctors. But instead of having the Chiefs doctors perform the surgery on him, he chose to go to Dallas to the Cowboys doctors to get the second opinion and have the surgery done.
That's what I was asking you, ARMCHAIR. When I read about that, I was like,
the Saints absolutely can make the playoffs next year with their new head coach. I'm sorry, I was answering a YouTube question. So here's the deal.
Was it a big deal with it?
Oh no, it's a huge deal. It is a huge deal because what happened when that came out was more reports of Chiefs players listing their complaints about the Chiefs, about their facilities, about their doctors, and how they don't trust them. So and right now it seems like Lamar Hunt, the owner of the Chiefs, or the Hunt family, I should say, is more concerned about moving the team to Kansas, having the state of Kansas put up $1.8 billion to build a $3.1 billion stadium than he is about taking care of his players. Look at what the Broncos done, right? Yes, I think Travis Kelce is going to retire. Look at what the Broncos done. They have built a new training facility and are still building it. They're building a new stadium. They replace the field 2 to 3 times a year. They care about their players. So when you have your star quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, go to another team's doctors to have your second opinion, to have the surgery done, that says a lot. That says a lot. That says a lot about your franchise. That says a lot about the direction your team is going. And it's not a good direction. So when I saw that last night, when I was looking it up, that says a lot about the Chiefs in a bad light. And again, when we talk about just the X's and O's on the field, the Chiefs have a lot of problems. And I said it this year, going into this year, that the Chiefs had a lot of problems. Their wide receiver room, their running back room, and their defensive side of the ball, right? They don't have a running game. I believe Hunt's going to be gone. I believe Pacheco's going to be gone next year. You got to figure out what you're going to do with your right tackle. Are you keeping him? Are you releasing him? Are you reworking that deal because of how much money it costs? How much of Patrick Mahomes' contract are you going to renegotiate to get under the salary cap and have money to play with? What are you going to do with Rashid Rice? What are you going to do with Hollywood Brown? What are you going to do with that defensive backfield? There's a lot of problems for the Chiefs going into next year. A lot. And this is what happens. Look at the Patriots post Tom Brady, right? Patriots had a lot of problems post Tom Brady for a long time. A long time. Because they had a quarterback who cared more about the game than he did about the money. Now you have a quarterback in Kansas City that does care about the game, but he also cares about the money. And caring about that money is what's put your team in a financial hardship. Same thing with the Bengals, with Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. Yeah, absolutely. The Giants post Eli, right? Post Eli Manning. The Broncos post Peyton Manning. You could still have Patrick Mahomes. And you have Patrick Mahomes, but now you've got to get this team back into champion caliber football, right? You've got to. You've got to get a better offensive line. You have to get a better offensive line. That offensive line is absolutely horrible for the Kansas City Chiefs. It is. Straight up is. I said it all year. I said it going into the year that your right tackle, your left guard, your left tackle, even though they put Simmons at left tackle, which I did not like, it is a weak spot. When Patrick Mahomes is 90% your leading rusher, it's bad. It's bad, right? When Patrick Mahomes is your leading rusher, it's bad in most games. Do you think Tyler Shuck can be the starter for the Saints' future? I 100% do believe Tyler Shuck could be the starter for the Saints. That dude is balling out. Broncos are ass. They have the easiest schedule in the entirety of the NFL. Actually, Creed, that is wrong. The New England Patriots have the easiest schedule in the NFL. And when you look at it, how they count that is by going off of last year. And I disagree with it. Every year is different. And the reason why I say that is because of free agency. And because of the salary cap. You have to let players go. You have to bring players in. You can only play who's in front of you, right? So the Patriots have been playing the Bills. Okay, so the Broncos have played the Texans, who the Bills lost to. The Broncos have played the Chiefs. The Broncos have played the number one offense, the Dallas Cowboys. So I don't want to go X's and O's because, again, the reason why I don't do that, the Texans are not easy. They have the number one defense in the NFL. And if they were easy, the Bills would have beat them. And again, the Bills lost to the Patriots, but then beat the Patriots. I mean, the Jaguars had to play the Texans twice. They went 1-1. The Bills, I love that, man. I love that Glee, man. Are the Bills overrated? They're not. They're not overrated. Are they overhyped? Absolutely. Do they have a lot of problems? You better believe they do.
Yeah, for sure.
The Bills have a lot of problems. They have a lot of problems on defense. They have a lot of problems on what's going on, the wee Moses. The Bills have a lot of problems on defense. They have a lot of problems with the wide receiver room, but they do have two really good tight ends, right? And you have Josh Allen, and you have Cook in the backfield, who I think is one of the best running backs in the NFL. But it's like the game we have coming up with the Eagles and the Bills. I have the Eagles winning because I don't think the Bills can stop that offense. I don't think the Bills' defense can stop that offense. The only one that can stop the Eagles' offense in this game is the Eagles themselves. I mean, the Bills almost lost to the Browns, right? The Browns beat the Packers this year. The Bills almost lost to the Browns. I think if Quinshon Judkins doesn't get hurt in that game, the Browns beat them. So the Rams have the easiest defense in the NFL. Well, I really didn't mention the Rams, but the Rams have a great offense. So, and you got to play who you're lined up against. Plain simple country. You got to play who you're lined up against. And so all these players are NFL players. Now you can put it down to poor management. You can put it down to poor coaching, poor preparation, whatever you want to put it down as. You can list the major problems of these teams. So we won 13-11 against the Jets. Yeah, I understand that. It was in London after we just beat, I don't know, the Super Bowl champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. We could go back and forth, Creed. We really can. We really can.
He came here to throw shots, is what it looks like.
That's completely fine with me. You guys know I love it. Creed, if you like my content and want to go back and forth with me, brother, and you're not a follower, please hit that follow button, man. I will go back and forth with you because I absolutely love it. That's what this channel is about. It is about football fans to come on, express their opinions about their teams and what they want to do. And we have a great back and forth. We keep it cordial. We keep it fun. And we become true fans. We act like true fans.
Archer, Creed, who's your football team?
I think he's a Patriots fan.
Oh, dude. You can't talk. No talking.
So I get it. Everybody loves the Patriots. Everybody wants Drake May to be the MVP. I personally think it's going to be Matthew Stafford. I don't think they... And we could go, is it warranted? Is it not? Oh, he's a Bucs fan. Oh, man. Hey, that's not sadly, brother. That's not sadly at all. I love the Bucs. I love Baker Mayfield. I like Emeka Buka.
Oh, you are.
You got Bo Nix's adopted brother, who I think could be an absolute stud at wide receiver. Yeah, I know he's older, but I love your defensive player. What is his name? Bailey. I think he's great. So I like the Buccaneers. I had high hopes for the Buccaneers this year. I had high hopes with them. So I thought they were going to win the South. I thought Baker Mayfield was going to throw for over 4,000 yards, have about 40 touchdowns because of that wide receiver crew, that wide receiver room. The AFC North, okay, man, the AFC North has not been the AFC North, I'm going to say, since Ben Roethlisberger retired. That's what I think, Gleeman. The AFC North is... The AFC North has not been the same, but they're still trying to play the AFC North football. You know,
Dude, I want to understand how Cortland Sutton got Pro Bowl selection.
Okay, so how it works is fans, coaches, and general managers.
I don't understand how TJ Watt about it, and I'm a Steelers fan.
Well, Myles Garrett didn't get in. Oh, no, yeah, he did.
That's what I'm saying. This shit, it's a popularity contest.
It's straight up, I mean, Travis Kelce got in, guys. Travis Kelce had the most votes.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, what?
We all know why. We all know that it is a popularity contest. We all know that the Pro Bowl is a popularity contest. Why? Why is it a popularity contest? Because the Pro Bowl sucks. So they're trying to get people in the Pro Bowl that they think are going to get more eyeballs all the game. Now, again, the Pro Bowl games are okay. I wish they would do more. I wish they would bring back the punt competition. I wish they would bring back the field goal competition. Those were two amazing things that the Pro Bowl used to do that they got rid of. And I need them to bring it back. I want them to bring it back. It was so good. It was so good.
So there was some Broncos fan. He was flexing that 6 of y'all's guys got in. And I was like, dude, don't watch the Pro Bowl.
I watch the Pro Bowl games, but I do not watch the flag football game. I watch the Pro Bowl games, but not the flag football game. I don't watch it.
Wish you a happy new year.
So, but, again, it's like the MVP, guys. We can all agree. The MVP is a popularity contest. It is. It is. It's going to go to a quarterback. It's going to go to a player that we all think is going to be Matthew Stafford. And it's kind of like the Heisman Trophy, right? The Heisman Trophy now is turning into a popularity contest. Who is making the college football look good now? Who is making the NFL look good now? And right now, it is Matthew Stafford. His age, the back injury that he had earlier in the year, him coming out and playing as good as he is, it's all a popularity contest, unfortunately. Because if it wasn't,
Yeah.
Jeremiah Love would have won the Heisman. Hands down, clear-cut winner, it would have been Jeremiah Love. Last year, it would have been Saquon Barkley, hands down. But it's not. It's not. The reason why Travis Kelce was selected to the Pro Bowl was because he got the most fan votes by the Swifties. That's why. It's the easiest answer in the world. Because of the Swifties. So, again, that's why a lot of people think that the Pro Bowl selection needs to be different. That's why I don't count the Pro Bowl as this high achievement that they make it out to be. They're like, well, how many Pro Bowlers do you have in your team? Who cares? Who cares? I'd rather have, the All Madden team or the All Pro team, right? I'd rather be an All Pro than a Pro Bowler. I'd rather be a playoff player, a Super Bowl player, than a Pro Bowler. Because those acolytes are better than playing in the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl is washed. The Pro Bowl is horrible after they completely changed it. Now, I understand why they changed it. They changed it because the NFL and because of the Olympics bringing in flag football.
Armchair, let me ask you something.
Absolutely.
DK suspension, too much?
DK is suspended 2 games. Yes.
Yeah, you think it's too much?
Honestly, in my opinion, I don't think it's enough. And that is nothing against DK, and that is nothing against the Steelers. Let me explain. The NFL right now is trying to do everything they can to paint themselves as a family-friendly environment, as a mentorship to young kids. And when you have players that lose their cool and do stuff like that, it damages the brand. It's like the same thing in the first game of the year between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. When that dude spit on Dak Prescott, I thought he should have been suspended the entire year.
Well, what about Jamar Chase when he spit on Ramsey?
I thought he should have been suspended the entire year.
One more to add on. If you remember, I think it was either last year or the beginning. It was either last year or the beginning of this year when Lamar hit that fan from the Bills.
Should have been suspended. Should have been suspended for the year. 100%. I'm not going to.
There's no consistency.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. I will not change my stance on this. You suspend one player. If one player screws up and he gets suspended the entire year, which means he loses his money for the year.
Yeah,
Do you think any other player is going to screw up that year?
Like, DK's $40 million in jeopardy right now.
Yeah, because the Steelers can now cut him and save all that money.
We're not going to cut him.
You
So,
know, talking about that game the other night where that Steelers grabbed that fan.
yeah, that's what we're talking about.
He should have been suspended for longer than 2 games.
No, he shouldn't
That
have.
was uncalled
No, he
for.
shouldn't have. If you didn't read what happened, then
Well, that's the problem. We're getting conflicting reports now. Now, we do know that he's had problems with this fan before. But again, this is the deal, right? My dad always raised me to be the bigger man. My dad raised me to be the bigger man. You are making multi-million dollars by playing a game that so many people never got the chance to play. You are an ambassador to your sport. You are a representative of the Shield. You are a representative of what the NFL is trying to become. They want to become a mentorship. They want their players to mentor kids. They want their players to be good in the community. They want their players to show that football is a family. It's a family sport. It's a family environment. It's safe for you to bring your kids to the game. It's safe for you to be there with these players. And if the players do not start acting like grown-ass men, it's time to bring the hammer down. And I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a Broncos player. I don't. If you're going to go out on that field and you're going to be stupid by spitting on another player, who in real life or outside of the football field, if I were to do that, that's assault.
Right.
We've got to bring the hammer down, because once you start doing it, other players will stop.
Look, I agree, and I'm not saying what DK did was right, but when you get death messages texted to you by that fan, and then he's at that game talking to you and spitting on you, I don't blame DK.
Again, I understand that. Number one, DK Metcalf should have.
But I don't blame him.
I get you, but he should have never put himself in that situation. This isn't just on DK. Let me make this perfectly clear.
No, this is on the staff and security.
This is on the stadium. This is on the stadium security, and this is on the security on the field, right? Because again, you have the safe security, because that's what they are, SAFE, safe, in the stands, and then you have them on the field.
Yeah, like
This is on them as well.
I think he was the safe member, the dude in the red jacket. He just stood there and watched it.
Exactly. So again, both the player, the NFL, the stadium security are all at fault. Because DK has reported this player or this fan before to the NFL security. So again, yes, I understand it was a problem with the NFL, but as a man, as a player of this sport, you never want to put yourself in that predicament. You don't want to put yourself in that predicament. And that's why I'm being tough on DK, because he put himself in that predicament. Again,
I agree.
I've played football. I've been called everything known to man. I've been bit. I've been punched. I've been stepped on. But I let it go because I'm playing a sport. And again, I never made it to the NFL, unfortunately. But you are one of 53 on 32 teams that represents this league. Merry Christmas, Eric. You represent this league. You represent the NFL. You represent that shield. Wait, wrong way. Right there on that football. You represent that shield. You represent the continuity of this league. You are out there. Little kids look up to you. Little kids want to play like you. You want them to play like you, but you don't want them to act like you, if that makes sense. So you have to go out. You have to go out and you have to play this game, and you have to be bigger. Your video about Burrow, check my trade offer to Cynthia and tell me if you take it, if you were said. I will look at that, Eric, but right now I have my phone set up on YouTube, and I'm live on YouTube and TikTok at the same time. So
I understand what you're saying, and I think somebody does need to be that bigger person to step up and walk away. I'm not saying what DK did was right, but I mean, to a certain standpoint, when you're getting, death messages from this fan multiple times and then saying that he's going to see you on Sunday.
I agree. Again, that is where I'm saying this falls on the NFL as well.
That's what DK posted on Twitter. He showed in a post-game interview. That's what he showed at his appeal.
Minnesota sends McCarthy, Addison, Hawkinson, 4 first and a 3rd and a 5th.
Right.
I think that's too much, Eric. I'm still listening to you, brother. Go ahead.
At the end of the day, let me ask you a question. Armchair, people are sending death threats to your family.
Okay.
And sending death threats to you, and they are at your house the very next day. Are you going to just sit there and watch? Or are you going to do something about it?
All right,
You're probably going to do something about it.
Right, okay. But that's different. That's different. And let me explain why. If that were to happen in the real life, number one, I'd be calling 911, having the police show up, right? And we're going to correlate that to what DK Metcalf did in the NFL. So in real life, you would call 911. In the NFL, DK alerted the NFL, right? We all know that. He alerted the NFL. Now, in real life, you're expecting the police to come and handle the situation. In the NFL, you're expecting the NFL, DK is expecting the NFL and the stadium security to handle the situation. That's why I said this just isn't on DK. This is a lack of judgment, a lack of security all the way around.
Basically, what I'm saying is 2 games is too much. 1 game is fine, but DK warned the NFL before that game started that fan was going to be there.
Right, and it's 2 games.
If that fan was there, he was going to do
okay.
something.
Here's what I think. If DK going up there, that warrants a 1-game suspension, right?
Yes,
if DK would have never touched the fan, it would have been a 1 game. But because he touched the fan, that's what led up to a 2-game suspension. You see what I'm saying? The 2 actions going up to the fan and then touching the fan. At least that's what I think, in my opinion.
All 3 of those security guards right there need to be fired.
I'm with you 100%. 100%.
All 3 need to lose their jobs. Because that's their job, to stop DK from going over there.
Exactly.
Watch them.
Exactly.
They let DK do that.
So yes,
they could easily stop the guy.
This is a problem that's not just on the player, but on the stadium security, on the NFL and the NFL security as well. That is my opinion. That's what I think. Now, I mean,
the fan can definitely talk shit, but death messages is too.
No, I agree. That's why I said this is a failure on the NFL as well.
I'm not.
They're not blameless here.
Talk shit. I mean, go to Philly. I've been there so many times. Fans are gonna talk shit, but when you send death messages,
right? This is a failure on the NFL. But let's get back to the games. Let's get back to these games that we got going.
I had a question for you, Armchair.
I hope I got an answer, my brother.
And the 2 NFC, in the NFC and AFC.
Okay.
Give me 2 teams in the NFC and AFC that you are high on going into the playoffs.
2 teams in the
NFC.
NFC.
Answer because I have mine, and everybody's probably going to be surprised. But
all right, I've got Jacksonville in the AFC.
You get 1 more, 2.
Oh, 2 in the AFC.
2 in each conference. 2 in each conference.
All right, so I got Jacksonville in the AFC, and I'm going to say the Texans because of that defense. And then the NFC, I've got the 49ers because of their offense. And you know what? I could say it's a tie. Oh, I might lean more to the Seahawks over the Bears. I like the Bears, but I think the Seahawks are more veteran. So I say the 49ers, Seahawks, Jaguars, Texans.
Jackson Smith and Jigga was like on
I like it. OG, you want to chip in?
I'm gonna be honest. When they played the Vikings, JSN got strapped. So I don't know how I feel about the JSN conversation, but
well, this is my thing.
Just 2 in each conference, NFC and AFC.
Well, but here's my thing. What playoff team right now? We only have 10 playoff teams, 10 secure teams, right? The Broncos, the Patriots, Jaguars, Chargers, Bills, Seahawks, Bears, Eagles, 49ers, and Rams. Out of all 10 of those teams, which one has not had an ugly win or ugly loss this year?
I would say the Chicago Bears.
Oh, no, they've had an ugly loss. The first loss to the Green Bay Packers.
say the Patriots.
Losing to the Raiders week 1.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
And the Bears lost by 30 to the Lions.
So you've had ugly wins and you've had ugly losses. The Jaguars. All right, look at the Broncos. We'll look at the Broncos. Ugly win, New York Jets. Ugly loss, Jacksonville Jaguars. Right?
The Bears also lost to the Ravens without Lamar.
The Patriots.
Yeah, we lost to Tyler.
The Patriots have had an ugly win against the Bills in Buffalo, and they had an ugly loss against the Raiders. The Jaguars had a good, I guess you could say, ugly win against the Texans early on, and then an ugly loss against the Texans later. The Chargers, their ugly win. The Denver Broncos in LA, right? But they've also had an ugly loss.
Chargers suck in the playoffs.
The Bills, right? Their ugly win is the Patriots in New England. Their ugly loss is the Miami Dolphins.
No, I think their ugly one would be that Cleveland one.
Ah,
That was an ugly win.
okay, yeah, we'll go ugly win is the Cleveland win last week. I'll agree with you on that one.
Yeah, it was ugly.
The Rams, the ugly loss, the the Seahawks, right?
I'd say Carolina, but that's okay.
The 49ers, same thing, right? Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you could say, is an ugly loss. The Eagles, the loss of losing to the Denver Broncos after leading going into the fourth quarter. The Bears, ugly loss, Green Bay Packers. So
I think the biggest loss for the Eagles would be the Chargers. I think that was a game that they had in their hands and they lost.
well, we could actually say the Dallas Cowboys as well.
Or the Cowboys, yeah.
Up 21-0 in the first quarter and losing 24-21. So again, all 10 teams are not pretty. That's what I'm trying to get across. All 10 teams are not pretty. And right now, as we sit, can anyone tell me right now that they are 100% locked on one of these 10 teams winning the Super Bowl as we sit right now?
The AFC's not. I would say there's a team I'm locked on, but then again, you can't be locked on a team in the playoffs because it's the National Football League.
This year, I got a question for you.
I would say the Rams, but again, it's still the National Football League.
Right. What's up, OG? What's your question?
I ain't gonna lie, being that Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and people like that ain't in the playoffs and shit. You think Josh Allen will go all the way?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't either.
And let me explain why. Let me explain why. It's not going to be Josh Allen's fault.
This should be his easiest chance.
But he has a crap defense.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
That defense is absolutely horrible. What's going to happen if they have to play the Jaguars, whose offense can move on them, or the Broncos, whose offense can move on them and have a good defense? Or if they have to somehow, some way end up having to play the Texans, who have the #1 defense. That defense for the Bills is their kryptonite. They have Josh Allen. They have Cooks. They have 2 great tight ends. Yeah, you can score points. But go back to and I always go back to a defense wins you championships, because go back to Super Bowl 48. Go back to that entire year. The Broncos had the #1 offense that entire year. They were setting records after records after records. And then they get into the playoffs and barely win. And then they get into the Super Bowl and they go up against a juggernaut defense with the Seattle Seahawks. And they absolutely got decimated. Then jump 2 years to 50. Carolina Panthers were setting records. Cam Newton was, Superman. But they didn't have a defense. They walked into the playoffs. They walked into the Super Bowl because they were running over everybody. The Broncos barely make it to the playoffs. Broncos barely make it through the playoffs. Get to the Super Bowl. Not a single person had the Broncos winning that game. They said the Carolina Panthers were going to run all over the Broncos, and that Broncos offense couldn't score. But the Panthers were not ready for that defense. Let's look at last year with the Eagles and the Chiefs. The Chiefs were not ready for that Eagles defense. It was not Jalen Hurts that won that Super Bowl. Yeah, he had great numbers. Yeah, he threw for a lot of touchdowns. Saquon Barkley ran up and down that field. But if it wasn't for that Eagles defense, that front 4 of the Eagles, because at no time did the Eagles blitz in the Super Bowl. If it wasn't for that front 4 shutting down that Kansas City Chiefs offense, we could have looked at a very close game, but that's not what happened. That defense, everybody was ready to drop the banner. The first 3-peat. Patrick Mahomes was the GOAT. Everybody was ready. But they went up against a juggernaut. And the only other team they had played last year with a really good defense was the Denver Broncos in Kansas City, and they only won by a blocked field goal. Everybody wants to forget about that because it was a Chiefs win and a Broncos loss. They want to forget that they almost lost to a rookie quarterback with the highest dead cap hit in NFL history. And they won by a blocked field goal. A win is a win, right? But you have to take that and then you have to move it forward. To win, their offense met a juggernaut defense in the Philadelphia Eagles. They weren't prepared for it. They weren't ready for it. They thought they were going to cakewalk with Mahomes, Kelsey, Rice, Hunt. They thought it was going to be a cakewalk until they hit that wall. And I love Josh Allen. Don't get me wrong. I love the Buffalo Bills. I'd love the Bills to finally win a Super Bowl because they're the only team in history that has lost 4 straight. But you don't have a defense in the NFL right now. The Bills do not have a defense that they can rely on. They have to rely on Josh Allen to be Superman, to be Iron Man, to be whatever it is Josh Allen is. But if they go up against the defense that can shut him down, they lost to the Miami Dolphins. They lost to the Dolphins. And forget about that.
I mean, the Dolphins are a well-rounded team, in my opinion.
So, everybody is saying this is Allen's year because Burrow's not there, because Mahomes not there, because Lamar Jackson's not there. Well, if that is the only way Josh Allen can win a Super Bowl, is Josh Allen really that good of a quarterback? If he can't have the top 3 quarterbacks in the AFC,
Like,
if that is what we're saying, is that of what we're going off of, is Josh Allen really that good of a quarterback? No way should Bills fans be going, this is our year, because A, B, and C are not in it. They shouldn't be saying that because then that proves that their team is not a Super Bowl caliber team because they're not playing tough opponents. What the Bills fans should be saying is, this is our year because Josh Allen is playing lights out. But again, we're about to get into cold weather football. Unless you go to Jacksonville, right? Travel to Jacksonville, it's going to be in the 60s or 70s. If win their division and have a home playoff game. But you could be traveling to New England. Right now, as we sit, the Bills would go to Jacksonville. As we sit right now. Can that Bills defense...
make it to the final play.
Who do I think are going to make the Final Four coming in? I think the Texans will.
Yeah, who you got in the Final Four?
I've got the Steelers and the Texans. I do. I think the Steelers will beat the Browns this week. I do. I'm sorry, I do. I don't. Again, I don't even know if Lamar is playing. I don't know if Jordan Love is playing because, the Ravens play the Packers. The Steelers to lose. To the Browns, and they have to beat the Packers. If the Steelers win, they're 10-6, and if the Ravens win, they're 8-8 with 1 game left. And if the Steelers win the North. If the Steelers beat the Browns, they win the North. That's it. There's no other way out of it. If the Steelers beat the Browns, the North is theirs, and the Ravens are out. If the Texans beat the Chargers, they're in. They're done. They'll be 11 and they'll have an 11-5 record going into Week 17, and they'll be 2 games up above the Colts. The Colts will be out with 1 game left. The Texans will be in. So if the Steelers win and the Texans win, they're in. It's done, sealed, signed, delivered. The AFC is set. The Panthers, they play the Seahawks. The Seahawks have to win this game. I had neck surgery. I'm sorry, guys. I'm answering a question on my other screen. The Seahawks have to win to go into Week 18 against the 49ers for the West and the number 1 seed. The Packers, or not the Packers, but the Panthers, if they lose and the Buccaneers win, The Panthers are still the 4th seed, but now you're going into week 18 for that division, for the South. Now the Packers. Right now the Packers have a 1.5 game lead on the Lions. If the Packers beat the Ravens, the Packers are in. Because they'll be 10-5-1, and the Lions are sitting right now 8-7. Even if the Lions win against the Vikings, they'll be 9-7 with a game left, and that it's done. Now, yes, the Lions will be done because they lost to the Packers twice. The Lions lost to the Packers twice this year, so they'd be done. If the Packers beat the Ravens, it's done. If the Packers beat the Ravens on Saturday, the Steelers win the division. The Steelers win the division. The Steelers don't even got to worry about playing on Sunday. If the Packers beat the Ravens on Saturday night, the Steelers win the North. And if the Packers win, they lock up the 7th seed. They lock up the 7th seed. So I'm looking at these teams. It's very hard for the Colts to get in, and it is very hard for the Lions to get in. The Lions, the Colts, and the Ravens right now only sit at a 1% chance of making it. Or, I'm sorry, right now the Lions are a 6% chance, the Colts are a 3%, and the Ravens are a 9%. The Ravens need a lot of help. The Ravens need the Browns to beat the Steelers. The Ravens need the the Ravens need to beat the Packers, and the Browns to beat the Steelers. That's their only chance of being a 50-50. That's their only chance. Because the Steelers would be 9-7, and the Ravens would be 8-8, and that final game would decide who wins the North.
I want Lamar.
And the Ravens cannot even be a wild card team. They can't. Because they have 3 more losses than the Texans do. So they have to beat the Packers, and the Steelers have to lose to the Browns, and then they have to beat the Steelers next week. If the Packers beat the Ravens, it's done. It's done. The Steelers win the North. If the Panthers somehow beat the Seahawks and the Dolphins, well, let's see, they'd be 9-7. Well, yeah, they could still do it. And the Dolphins beat the Buccaneers. It's done. The Panthers win.
Who you got, like, divisional?
All right, here we go. So if this is how it'll look like,
The top 4 teams to make it better.
here's how it would look like if what I just said happens. If the Panthers are the 4th seed, the Packers are the 7th seed in the NFC, and the Steelers are the 4th seed, and the Texans are the 7th seed, you will have the Chargers playing the Steelers in Pittsburgh. All right, let me write this down so I don't get anything mixed up. So right now in the Super Wild Card round, if what happens, I think happens, you'd have the Steelers versus the Chargers. You would then have the Bills versus the Jaguars in Jacksonville. And then you would have the Texans versus the Patriots in New England. And I don't know if TJ Watt will be back. I think the Jaguars would beat the Bills.
Broncos at the 1st seed right now.
Right. Broncos are sitting at the 1st seed. If this is how it ends up, if this is what our bracket will look like in the AFC, I think the Texans could beat the Patriots in the wild card round. I really do. With that defense,
Yeah.
I think they can shut down Drake May, and I think CJ Stroud and their rookie running back can do enough to win that game. It's going to be a hard-fought game, but I think they can do it. I think the Jaguars can absolutely beat the Bills in Jacksonville. 100% I do. 100% I do.
Agreed.
Steelers and Chargers, I would have to give the edge to the Steelers because of how beat up the Chargers are. That's the only reason why I have to give that edge.
You know the Army is? Like,
So it would be the Steelers at number 4, Jaguars at number 3, and then I'm sorry, I'm going to go Texans at number 7.
ooh.
And then how it would end up is the Steelers would have to go to Jacksonville, and the Texans will now have to play in Denver. And in this game, I give the Broncos the edge. Not because I'm a Broncos fan, but we beat the Texans in Houston this year. I think the Broncos can beat them in Mile High. It's going to be cold. That air is going to be thick. It's going to be chilly. They're a dome team. I think the Broncos win because of that. And then
Yeah.
I think the Jaguars beat the Steelers. I don't think that Steelers defense can stop Trevor Lawrence, ETN, Jacoby Myers. I don't think they can. Because I don't know if I don't know when TJ Watt's coming back. So I have to go with the knowledge right now that he's going to be out for a while.
I mean, Jacksonville does have a good defense.
They do have a very good defense. They lead the NFL in takeaway. No, that's the Bears. No, is it the Bears? Yeah, it's the Bears. I think they're second in the NFL in takeaways. So you're looking at a Broncos, Jaguars, AFC Championship in Denver, a rematch of last week. Now, when we look at the NFC, you would have the 5th seed 49ers going to the 4th seed Panthers. Then you would have the 6th seed Rams going to the 3rd seed Eagles. Then you would have the 7th seed Packers
Against the Bears.
going to the Bears in Chicago. So now this is super wild card for the NFC. All right.
How you doing, Armchair? How's your week going?
I'm doing all right, J-Rock. Merry Christmas to you, my brother. I have the 49ers over the Packers in the super wild card round.
Are you guys talking about the playoff picture you guys like potentially won?
Yes, sir. I have the 49ers beating the Packers in the first round.
I agree. I think their defense can handle Malik Willis or Jordan Love.
And I think the Rams beat the Eagles.
Are the Rams at home?
No, the Eagles are.
It doesn't really
Oh, this
matter.
is the Rams being like in 5th place or 6th.
Yeah, they went from 1st to 6th off one game.
I think the Rams beat the Eagles.
Yeah, I think they can pull it off. They were so close last year, and they were just, a block cake earlier this year.
And the Eagles have not been showing out.
Packers who is this? Yeah, the Packers and the Bears. This would be a rematch of last week in Chicago. I think I got to give it to the Bears. I think I have to give it to the Bears.
The way Ben Johnson's got them playing.
I think I got to give it to the Bears.
I love it. I think they can pull it off on Sunday night.
So then we would have the Rams in the 6th seed going to the Seahawks. Great game.
They can pull that one off.
Then we have the 49ers in the 5th seed going to the 2nd seed Bears in Chicago.
Wow, that would be awesome.
Well, we're going to have that matchup this weekend.
Yep. I think Chicago can pull it off Sunday night.
I think they can. But I think City Boy, I think in the playoffs, I trust Brock Purdy more than Caleb Williams. I do. He's got experience in the playoffs. He's got Super Bowl experience. Shanahan's got experience in the playoffs, in the divisional round, in the Super Bowl. You've got Kittle. You've got a really good defense. I just, it'll be a good game. It'll be a cold game in Soldier Field. But I think I would have to give the edge to the 49ers. I'm talking about playoffs, not this weekend, but playoffs.
Yeah, you said experience, and from what you've seen in the past, we haven't seen anything from Ben Johnson in this squad in the playoffs.
I know I love Ben Johnson, J-Rock. I 100% do. But I've got a second-year quarterback that has had highs and has had lows, right?
I mean,
We have to be honest. Caleb Williams has had good and has bad. If it wasn't for a fluky onside kick, they lose to the Packers in Chicago.
Yeah, that's what both quarterbacks, though. Purdy wasn't playing that well.
No,
in the first
well,
half.
Purdy's been hurt as well.
Both quarterbacks turned it on in the
So
second half.
I mean, you see what Purdy did against the Panthers.
I gotta give it. I know it's bad, and I know I would like to see the Bears move because I don't wish any ill will on any young quarterback. But I've got to give it to the 49ers. Now, this is the hard one. The Rams in Seattle.
Seattle. I can't see Sam Darnold taking them that far.
In a big game like
I
that.
think I agree with. I think I agree with you.
He's almost like a system quarterback. It's like Dak Prescott going to the Super Bowl.
I really think that the Rams win. I really do.
With the healthy Devontae,
I think it would be the Rams. So then you would in the NFC Championship, you would have the 6th seed Los Angeles Rams going to the 5th seed in Santa Clara 49ers.
And this is literally to play on the same field where they're at for the Super Bowl.
For the Super Bowl.
I mean, Brock Purdy was a Super Bowl quarterback at one point.
But Matthew Stafford, are we really going to doubt Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua in the NFC Championship?
You have to give it Stafford, man.
Who has the better defense, in our opinion? Do the 49ers or the Rams have a better defense? Or are they about matched?
Just for being healthy, but the Niners, I mean, people would argue the Niners
were healthy.
So, are we?
Doesn't matter. You could put any players in front of him. He's going to have them playing very, very well.
Are we? I think I've got to give the edge to the Rams because of Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, he's going to pick apart that defense, and that's what he normally does.
So you would have the 6th seed Rams in the Super Bowl. Now back to the AFC. You would have the 3rd seed Jaguars versus the number 1 seed Broncos in Denver.
Got the Broncos.
I think that'll be a revenge game for the Broncos, and the Broncos win. It'll be cold.
Hey, I can't say that now. I don't know about them Chargers. They might win out.
Yeah, but even if I don't know, dude, they got to go through the Texans. We're just going off of what the placement looks like right now. We'll do this again next week. We're gonna do it again next week, right? We're gonna do it this week and next week.
Next week when the Bears.
So we're doing it for week 17, what it looks like now, and then we're gonna do it week 8 before week 18, right? We're doing it before week 17, and then we're gonna do it before week 18 on where the seedings are, and we'll go through this chart again. So as we sit right now, and the placements, I think the Broncos beat the Jaguars in Denver in the AFC Championship game. It's going to be cold. It's going to be late January. You could have snow. That crowd is going to be electric again, and I think Sean Payton has it better locked down than what they did last week. It will be a revenge game. I don't think the Broncos lose to the Jaguars twice.
Broncos might have a good.
So we would have the Broncos. Again, this is going into week 17. We have the Broncos and the Rams in Santa Clara for the Super Bowl.
I got, not gonna lie, I think Stafford, I'm not trying to like say anything about the Broncos or anything, but I think I got Stafford winning the ring and retiring.
I can agree with
I'm
you.
gonna be honest. After the Seattle Seahawks loss, I don't see Stafford winning.
I mean,
Okay, OG,
it
explain.
was a fluky game. You can't rely.
I want to hear OG's explanation.
Now listen, I feel like that was probably one of the best games of the year, if not one of the best games of, like in a while. But I ain't gonna lie, I feel like the Rams choked that game against the Seattle Seahawks, and if they do that again, then I mean,
it wasn't really
yeah.
Stafford's fault.
No, it wasn't. It was the defense.
You have a really good quarterback.
They make sure defensive coaching too.
Oh, he sure did. Okay, so let's look at it this way. Going into our hypothetical Super Bowl, Broncos versus Rams, I give the offense to the Rams, right? The Rams offense is better than the Broncos offense. We all can agree. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I have to give the defense to the Broncos.
Obviously.
So, I say
Yeah,
defense
yeah,
wins
Devontae
championships.
Adams got hit too.
He's gonna be obviously play for that game. I mean, it's gonna be the Super Bowl.
It's the Super Bowl. You're playing. You know that the Super Bowl's what, a month and a half, about a month and a half away. It's a lot of time to get
He'll
healed.
be healthy.
A lot of time to get healed. And of course, you'll have that week in between to heal up as well on Radio Row and everything like that. And I've always said defense wins championships. Offense gets you there, but defense wins it. Can Pat Surtain shut down Puka Nacua? Can Zach Allen, Nick Bonito, Cooper, Roach, and John Franklin Meyer put a ton of pressure on Matthew Stafford? Because outside of Puka, right, outside of Puka Nacua, who's your other top wide receiver? Devontae Adams. But he's got to get healthy.
He's a great catcher.
And I love Devontae Adams. Love him to death. Absolutely love Devontae Adams.
Kyron Williams can go out and catch a pass.
So, in this scenario, I really think that, and again, I don't think this is going to happen. I'm not a delusional fan. I never have been, and I never will be. The Broncos, in this scenario, I would give about a 1% chance more of winning the Super Bowl. I think it would be 51-49 Broncos.
Well, the thing with that is, you have a mediocre defense going into mediocre offense.
Right. The mediocre defense for the Rams going against the mediocre offense with the Broncos.
And then you got one of the best offenses going in against one of the
best defenses.
So, in my opinion, it could go either way.
That's what, you know what? I think we'll just do 50-50. What do you think? That sound about right? We can't even pick it. Because I can't even pick it, and I'm a Broncos fan. I think it's a 50-50 toss-up.
I'm going to point out that a team has a good offense and another team has a good defense. We've seen it multiple times in the regular season with teams that have good offenses or that has good defenses, such as like the Broncos against the Eagles, or the Broncos against the Texans, or the Chargers against the
Cowboys.
Chiefs in week 1, or Cowboys. Yes, Broncos, Cowboys. When the Broncos put up 30 unanswered points against the Giants.
Yep.
Like, you're going to see flashes of both offenses and defenses both throughout the game. It's who maintains the consistency and who executes throughout the entire 60 minutes of the game.
I trust your opinion a lot, J-Rock, because I do. So how do you see this game? Broncos, Rams, Super Bowl.
Coaching.
Okay, who do you trust more, Sean McVay or Sean Payton? Both have a Super Bowl ring. But the difference is you can't do the trick play like what they did.
He puts up more points in the half. And Denver's been doing a good job at doing that in the beginning of the games where they just show out with a lot of firepower.
Yep.
They can control the game. And I could see your 51-49% vision right there.
Okay.
I like the Rams, but Stafford can't handle the amount of pressure that he has. I love to say that he's MVP, but as a Chargers fan, I would argue Herbert. No other quarterbacks can go through what Herbert.
Oh, dude, I think Herbert should be MVP as well for what he's gone through this year.
I mean, his offensive line is injured.
Lost the 2 best tackles in football. Don't have your running back 1. You're down to your running back 4. Marion barely returns, being out for like 10 weeks.
But I think his.
I don't want to make it a huge excuse. I respect your prediction your hypothetical prediction that you said. But like you said, you're going into week 17. You're going into what the Chargers did last year against Houston.
Yep. This is all hypothetical before week 17, and we're gonna do it again next week before we go into week 18.
I actually like this that you do this. I be doing this with my friends too.
The thing is, in my opinion, it's just either if the Broncos offense shows out or the Rams defense shows out. That's my opinion.
Right, that's why I go 51-49.
That O-line, the Rams don't really have that much of a good O-line, so I think Nick Benito and them are going to be shredded to I mean,
I wouldn't misunderstand the Rams O-line. It's more of their pass protection. Their run blocking is pretty well. They do a really good job for Kyron and Blake Corum. They run the ball very well.
I think Kyron is a really good receiving back.
That's why I say, in this scenario, the way we sit right now, going into week 17, going through the games, if you were to get a Rams-Broncos Super Bowl, that would be a very hard Super Bowl to pick. Be a very hard Super Bowl to pick. That's why I go either 50-50 or 51-49 Broncos. And I'm not going 51-49, oh, you're a Denver fan, you're glazing your Broncos. No, I'm not. I said going into this year, I thought the Broncos got bounced out of the divisional round. I didn't expect them to go on the run that they did. I did not expect them to do what they've done this year. I did not expect Bo Nix to step up and have the kind of year that he's having. I mean, say what you want about Bo Nix, but Bo Nix has, what is it, 3,600 passing yards this year. 3,600 passing yards. 24 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. But think of all the drop passes, right? The Broncos lead the NFL in drop passes. Imagine where Bo Nix would be if you cut that by half. What is that, about 300 more yards? Possibly 400?
Yeah, that's about 350.
Right, so he would be almost a 4,000 yard passer, and he would probably have about 30 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So, and he would probably have about few interceptions.
I'd say he probably had somewhere about 27, 28 because of situational. But yeah, I can see that.
So, everybody wants to dog on Bo Nix, and this is the part that irritates the crap out of me. Everybody wants to dog on Bo Nix, but they don't want to take the time to actually break down what is going on with this team, with the drops, when you lead the NFL in drop passes.
My biggest thing is not only just the drop passes, but it's those screen and jet.
Oh, I know.
That are unnecessary.
I agree, brother.
Situations. I could not stand that. Like when I watched that game, I pointed that out in week 3 when the Chargers played the Broncos, because the minute that the Broncos had a possession, and they started doing that, I'm like, what in the hell are they doing?
Brother, I'm right there with you.
This ties back to what Armchair was saying back in week 3 against the Chargers. The Broncos that whole second half weren't catching the football consistently. That's the reason why you have to go with the screen plays or with your bread and butter plays.
Because you're leading the NFL in drops. And that's what I said. I said going into this year. And J-Rock's been with me for a long time. I said going into this year, the Broncos' weakest area was their wide receivers. It's their wide receiver core. It is. It 100% is. It is their wide receiver core. You only have one veteran, that's Courtland Sutton. Let me ask you this. On the Rams, would Courtland Sutton be the number 1 wide receiver on the Rams?
No, he'd be a 2.
Would Courtland Sutton be the number 1 wide receiver on the Cowboys?
It would be a 3.
He'd be a toss-up
He'd
between
be a
2 and
three.
3, depending on it. But yeah.
Okay.
I love how honest you are with that armchair because that's the honest truth that you're saying right now as a Broncos fan.
Yes. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to glaze my team. I've tried to make this channel to where I am the most honest, unbiased sports talk that there is.
And that's what I love about this channel.
I'm going to, and it's like I tell my wife, I will never be biased because that is wrong. I mean, there's a creator on the Red channel that I follow who's, all he talks about is Bronco football. And he glazes the Broncos, and it annoys me.
Which one is it?
It is. I'll tell you in just a second. Hold on, let me pull him up.
No, ma'am.
Let me pull him up.
Because the closest ones that I know is Sports Talk Denver and Bronco Syndicate.
I think.
And we all can understand when you talk to a football guy.
Yep, that's the one. Sports Talk Denver.
Ben? Oh my.
He is the most glazing Bronco fan you will ever meet on the Red platform.
Well, to be honest with you, because I know him personally, he's a real good, solid dude.
I've been trying to get a hold of him. I wanna do a live with him. I've been trying to get a hold of him.
Yeah, he's been kind of going through a lot, just more for personal family reasons. But I can definitely text him and reach out to him for you if you want.
Bro, I would appreciate that so much. I want to start doing more lives with other creators.
Oh, yeah. No, it's the best, especially...
Jake, you got cut off,
I
brother.
do that for... Because I also run... Oh, hold up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, brother.
So I do this as well with my other channel with the Chargers because I also talk with David Drogmeyer of Locked On Chargers. He's really
you
good
talk
with
to
this
David?
stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's dope, man.
I've been watching him on Locked On. I listen to him almost every time.
I would love to get. I mean, I did one. I did one with War Kingdom Chiefs or War Chant Kingdom Chiefs.
War Chant.
Yeah, War Chant. I did one with him before the first Broncos game, and it was and he was the host. It was an absolute blast for me. I had so much fun.
Yeah, because he's old school Chiefs.
Yes.
Old school Chiefs. So he knows a lot about like the old history up from there. So I like that. I also know one guy who also does Chiefs content, but he does Chiefs content for ESPN.
Dude, I would love to have him on. I don't care who it is.
Yeah, KC Sports Report, Michael Darcy, I know him. He's really good.
Merry Christmas, P. Brady. Brother, I would be eternally grateful if you guys could reach out to these people about doing a live with me.
Of course.
Because that's what I want to do. That's why I love bringing people up. So this is a community, and that's what I try to tell people. This is a football channel that's run by a Broncos fan. That's why my channel is called Armchair Quarterback Talk. It's not Bronco Talk, Denver Talk. No, it's about the NFL. And I've studied this game for so long that I want to be, again, I want to be the most unbiased. I don't want to be a glazer, and I want to be honest even about my own team. Going into this year, I thought the Chargers were winning the division. I had the Chargers winning the division. But then they got bit by that horrible little bug called the injury bug.
Well, you know what's funny is I predicted the Chargers to go 12-5, and they're close to doing it.
They absolutely are. You got to get through
They're just one loss away from being there.
You got to get through a tough team, though.
They got to win out.
You're going up against a tough team right now.
Because the thing about Harbaugh is that his progression is always by one extra game every time that they get better.
Yep.
So we go 11-6 last year that I predicted. I was like 12-5 this year because we got the receivers we addressed. We have We have a couple of real good defensive players with Dante Jackson.
Those are down.
that allows us to now start playing those gritty games.
I had the Broncos going anywhere between 11-6 this year and 14-3. That's what I had the Broncos going at this year. Anywhere between 11-6 and 14-3. And again, I had said going into the year, I thought the Broncos made it to the divisional round of the playoffs, and then that was it. You know, they stepped up from last year. There was just too many pieces of this puzzle with the Broncos that were new, and there was still too many things you had to fix from last year that have kind of gotten fixed, but not really. I mean, areas like the run game have been fixed. Areas on the defense have been fixed, but the pass game with the drops have not.
Yeah. That was where I predicted them going either 11-6 or 10-7 for that specific reason, because they still needed a little more.
Yeah, and that's why I don't have them as Super Bowl favorites, because there's still these little areas that can come up and bite you in the wrong time, like last week with the Jaguars. We had 4 crucial drops that reached up and bit us.
Yep.
We had a great running game. Our running game was doing great. I think the Houston Texans absolutely can be the most dangerous team in the AFC side of the playoffs because of that defense.
Mm-hmm.
That defense is a juggernaut.
CJ Stroud's got to step up.
And there you go, J-Rock. That's the problem. CJ's got to step up. But that defense can carry you.
I'm going to tell you guys right now, I love playing, seeing my favorite team going against a team that they have lost to previously in the year before. Like, as a Chargers fan, I would love to see the Chargers get their get back on Houston.
Dude,
Pretty
that would
confident that they'll
literally
get it.
shake up everything. Because at that point, we have had such a bad history with them over the years, even with Deshaun Watson, that I want to erase that.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, now, as a Broncos fan, I would like the Chargers to lose. But as an honest fan, if CJ Stroud does not step up in this game, it doesn't matter what his defense does.
Yeah.
What's his name? Moody?
Stroud, but the defensive line, too. Herbert only had McConkey in that playoff game, and I think Quentin Johnston is going to step up. Keenan Allen is going to be there to step up.
I think what is going to hurt you guys, I think what's going to hurt the Chargers is not having Vidal.
Well, he said
he's
that
day
it's
to day.
actually
He's
not
day to
as
day.
serious. Yeah.
If he doesn't play, that is going to hurt.
I like him. I'll play him.
My thing with his son Haskins is I want him to be more generated for pass block more than anything else.
Definitely, because he has a role, and he also plays a role in special teams as well, too.
Yeah, he's built that way to defend as a running back, and then allow Amari and Hampton and Kamani Vidal to do the running. And when
Take
we're
some steam
on
off of him.
Right, so when we're on shotguns, Haskins can block.
Mm-hmm. I actually like that take. That's a great pointer right there, because that would be hard if Vidal does not play, because that would be a lot more to ask for.
Y'all going to have to stop Woody Marks as well. That rookie running back,
very well too.
That dude is showing out.
Yeah.
So in this
They
game,
run the ball as much with Javonte Williams, but they were kind of scaring me with them.
I think you're going to have to go to a quick game, a quick pass game.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have to go to a quick pass game. I really do.
We have to throw a lot of underneath routes against them.
Yeah, absolutely. You are not going to want to give Will Anderson Jr. a lot of time.
Yeah, and you're going to want to wear out that defense. So time of possession is going to be crucial for us.
100%.
If we win that battle, then Houston will be gashed.
Hey, what's going on, Faith? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. But yeah, again, as a Broncos fan, it does help me if you lose. Thank you for that, Faith. I appreciate that. If the Broncos beat the Chiefs and the Chargers lose to the Texans, the Broncos win the West.
Yep.
So now, again, as a Broncos fan, taking my channel out, I do want y'all to lose. But as a football fan, I want it to be a damn good game. I want it to be a good game.
crazy to believe that the playoff picture is going to be a lot of teams with familiarity, except for Buffalo.
Absolutely. Faith, thank you for those hearts. I greatly appreciate that. And thank you for the follow.
Thing is,
Yeah, well,
Houston and Indianapolis could be fighting for that division spot in Week 18 if they both lose this
I
week.
predicted my team would only win a
They
single
could, yeah.
Well, okay, so if the Jaguars, who do they play? All right, so the Texans are 10-5. The Jags are 11-4. If somehow, some way, the Colts beat the Jaguars and the Texans beat the Chargers, we gonna have some interesting things going into Week 18 with that division.
You know what's funny is, this is a crazy stat, I'm sure you pulled it up, Armchair, was teams that when they beat Denver that week, they have a losing record the
Next week. Yep. They sure do. Because it's like they play all out and then the following week they're done kind of deal.
Yeah.
So again, the game, so taking the Chargers game out, the game I'm really looking forward to Saturday, and it's weird, is the Packers and the Ravens. That is a game that
Interesting that you say that.
well, because the reason why I say that, why I think it's going to be such an important game, the Packers have got to win. They win, they seal the 7th seed. They lose, now it starts getting interesting on the AFC North side of the ball.
Yeah.
So that game, if the Packers win, the Steelers win the division automatically. They ain't even got to worry about the last 2 games. The Packers win, the Ravens would be 7-9. Steelers win the division automatically. Automatically.
Right.
Automatically. So that is why it's so interesting.
Boy, Merry Christmas.
Joey, Merry Christmas, motherfucker.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
How you doing? You doing good? Hey,
Oh, doing great.
It's live. It's good. It's got a good line going here, pal.
Thank you, Joey. I appreciate
Hey,
that, brother.
Joey's one of the real ones, man. For real.
Thank you, Faith. I appreciate that.
I'm getting lobster. I'm getting scallops. We got the 7 fishes of Christmas Eve, all the Italians. So.
Okay, so where do you live, Joey? Because I'm coming to your house for dinner.
The guy I'm about to smack because he wants to charge me double for fucking lobster. I'm about to give him a smack.
I'm coming to Joey's house, man. I want the Italiano. Italiano.
There you go.
Joey, I bet you make fantastic pizza.
Oh, I cook every day. My nonny's recipes.
Oh, Joey, you're killing me here, Joey. You're killing me.
For you. I just came up here, first of all, to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and my boy Jake, who I love. Jake has great interviews. Jake runs a great podcast. Jake is awesome. I love listening to Jake. Sometimes I just sit in the back and just listen to his interviews as well as his discussions, and they're awesome. I like
Joey,
how you're live. And I have 3 questions, and you guys can answer these for me any way you want. Anybody can take the lead with this. The first question is, how come, and I'm a huge Patriots fan, I mean, I grew up, I'm all New England.
Oh, you're a Bears fan.
Boston. My cousin from Boston. So anyhow, question number one. Question number 1. How come when New England had a 10-zip lead, Baltimore, why was both, I understand Jackson got a knee to the ribs, but why was Derrick Henry standing there with his coat and his winter jacket on and not put into the game? He was actually gashing that defense 15 to 20 yards a clip and would have ran out that clock.
Okay.
That's my first question.
All right.
What was Baltimore thinking and why?
All right, so that all right, I'm going to answer that one. That one's easy. It's plain, simple, easy. Harbaugh. That's it.
Yeah, I was just about to say
Harbaugh.
The whole community, the whole fan base is saying fire Harbaugh.
It's Harbaugh.
They have to after that.
It's John Harbaugh. For some strange reason, John Harbaugh, when he gets closer to the playoffs, when he gets in these tight games, going into the playoffs, and then into the playoffs, he completely changes how he coaches. He did it last year, right? He did it last year. You have Pittsburgh, you run all over Pittsburgh. You go to Buffalo, and you shut it down.
Right. I just don't understand it. And I'm happy for New England because they're having a year that a lot of people didn't expect. Now, granted, out of most of those wins, these teams are 300% winning or less. I understand that. But to go into Baltimore, be down by 10 with 6 to go, and see your two best players who have gotten you almost to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row, that was very surprising to me, that's all. Well, second year if they make it. But the point I'm trying to make is to see Derrick Henry do. Because if you remember, Mike Vrabel, when he was coaching with Tennessee, brought Derrick Henry and those Tennessee Titans into New England and beat their ass. How did he do it? He ran Henry 30
over 150 yards.
Yep. The answer is plain and simple. It's a horrible answer.
I thought he would follow the same philosophy.
It's Harbaugh.
Okay, question number 2. This is directed at Armchair. And then the third one, naturally, I have for my boy Jake. The second question is, how do you feel defensively about the Broncos after that Jaguar performance? And please tell me what you think. Are they going to make the adjustments, and how are they going to fix this to get ready for the playoffs?
Okay, how do I feel about the defense? I'm glad you asked that question. That defense played like ass. Tackling was horrible. Could not get a pressure on. You know, you have Benito, Cooper, Allen, Roach. Yeah, we had a couple good sacks in that game. But Moss let us down. Why didn't we play McGlinchey? Why didn't we play Jade Barron? Why didn't we play Stannard? A lot of things in that game did not make sense. Why were we, who are a great nickel man defense, right? That is what the Broncos have played practically all freaking year. But after the damn bye week, Vance Joseph's like, nope, we're going to play zone. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. I don't know what the hell Vance Joseph is doing. I don't know if he's doing it to go, yeah, I'm ready to be a head coach again.
And the reason why he asked that, Armchair, is because I know that Sean Payton and his crew, the defense coordinator and everybody, they got together and they know a Trevor Lawrence type arm and they know what his strengths and weaknesses are.
Yep.
And it seemed like they actually were playing to his strengths that day.
They were.
And I just couldn't figure it out.
It's because Vance Joseph switched up to a zone defense. That's what it is. He switched up to a zone.
Lawrence jersey, Armchair.
What's up, Bryce?
I'm gonna go buy you a Trevor Lawrence jersey.
I'd wear that with pride. I like Trevor Lawrence. You know that.
He's come a long way. He really has.
I've been a Trevor Lawrence fan since I want to be honest here. I've been a Trevor Lawrence fan when I watched him do that amazing comeback against the Dallas Cowboys.
Chargers. Oh, the Cowboys.
No, not the playoff game with the Chargers. No. It was against the Dallas Cowboys that put them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was nice.
That is when I was like,
Dak Prescott threw that game away.
I stood up and like, you gotta follow this kid. This kid's gonna be something. You get him a coach and a coordinator that is the same. This kid's gonna be something.
Yes. And the third question I have, and anybody can answer this, and that's the meltdown of the that's the meltdown of the Los Angeles Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks in the fourth quarter with a 30-14 lead. It's almost as though they were playing not to lose, and I don't understand what the hell happened there either.
Okay, I'm gonna take this question first.
All of a sudden break down with very little time to go.
I'm going to take this question first because it's one thing that absolutely drives me crazy throughout the entire NFL. Every defensive coordinator does it. Every head coach does it. And it drives me crazy. It's called the prevent defense. They do it in the fourth quarter when they have a massive lead. And I'll tell you what the prevent defense means. It prevents you from winning. And that's what happened. That is exactly what happened. They took their foot off the gas. You had not had a 3-and-out the entire game. The entire game. And when it counted, Sean McVay decided we're going to play not to win. He was playing not to lose instead of playing to win. And he took the foot off the brake.
Some of these teams still keep the pedal down, yeah.
And then they decided to play the prevent defense against Sam Darnold and JSN. JSN was locked down pretty much that entire game. But then they switched up that defense and went to a prevent.
Yep. I agree. And Jake, shout out to Gadsden and Hampton, who are having great years. I love the Marion Hampton when he was in North Carolina. And Gadsden, special pick from Syracuse. They're all playing very, very well. They really are. And that defense, when Derwin James Jr. is in the game, you always got a shot of winning that game.
Yep.
A complete,
100%.
unbelievable, my opinion, the best strong safety in the game today.
And you got with Tony
Joey.
Jefferson being there, and even
Benjamin
with
St. Jude's.
Like Dante Jackson's been an underrated signing for us for 2 years, dude. I was
goodness.
very impressed with
Thank
him.
you, Pittsburgh.
Yep. And Quinn
Hey,
Johnson
Joey.
is finally getting some. Quinn Johnson is finally getting some targets. That's huge too.
Mhm.
I gotta hear Joey say, "Hey, I'm talking here."
Oh, what are you talking about? Forget about it. I'm just a man right now. Forget about it. Okay, guys, listen. I gotta go haggle with fishermen. I got all buddy in the family going crazy. I got fish flying everywhere. I gotta get the pasta. I gotta make the cod, the bacala. Forget about it. I'm busy.
Hey,
guys.
Take care, Joey.
Hey, Joe. Hey,
Merry
Joey.
Christmas, Joey.
Oh, hey, by the way, hold on one sec.
Yeah, the phone call, man. It's always the agent that calls.
I like Joey. I like his. I like your fire, Joey.
Hey, just before you go, I've got next week. I have a Super Bowl champion and the one who caught the touchdown first in that Super Bowl against the Bills, Stephen Baker, coming on.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Love your,
Giants
I love
legend.
your interview. And even I loved your interview when you had Coach Jags on there. Someday I'll tell you some stories about him up at Boston College.
Oh, he said some great things about Matt Ryan, dude. It was crazy.
And they're all true, trust me. Because he always had to go up against Willie Blackman and Jamie Silva in practice against all three of us in the defensive backfield. All right, guys, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Joey. See, Jake, that's what I want to do with this channel as well. I've been trying to get interviews with people, but I haven't been messaged back. I keep emailing, and I don't get messages back or emails back.
Well, I'll start promoting it out for you, because recently, as far as Broncos players are there, I recently had Sylvester Williams that was up and on my show, and I had Quentin Jammer and AJ Johnson.
Nice.
So those were the last couple of Bronco players I had up there, and Sylvester Williams, dude, like he's been working. He's like, if they give me a call, I'm back in.
Oh, absolutely. I've been trying to get a hold of Mark Schlereth.
Yeah, Mark Schlereth is tough because like he is pretty selective, but from what I was told, because I live in Colorado and there's a couple places, like couple bars he goes to that does like his shows and everything on radio.
Yeah,
I definitely try to reach out.
Dude, if you could reach out to anybody for me, dude, I'd be eternally grateful.
Absolutely, and I'll make sure to promote out your show because this is the thing. Like I do an all sports show myself, and my recent interviews I had Steve Edwards, former offensive lineman for the Bears, had talked with him talking about Chicago and everything. And then my last interview I had Titans wide receiver Kevin Dyson on there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I even had the pleasure. I even had the pleasure back in 21, where I was able to interview head coach Zach Taylor and Van Jefferson at the time in the Super Bowl.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Because
I had Mariah Carey for my Christmas special.
Bryce. What I'm trying to do, especially going into next season, once my neck and then everything heals up, I'm wanting to go to the draft. My wife and I are wanting to go to the draft in Pittsburgh. And I want to do a whole bunch of lives from the draft in Pittsburgh. We're wanting to go to the Hall of Fame game in August, do lives at the Hall of Fame, and stuff like that. And then when next year starts, and again, if I'm healthy enough, I live in East Texas, we're gonna start in our surrounding areas of like Dallas, Houston, New Orleans, and Kansas City, and go to each one and experience their tailgate parties while I'm going live.
Oh, hell yeah.
So
Dude, I've had so many people in the industry harping me of like, dude, you need to come out to Indianapolis for the scouting combine.
I want to go to the combine if I'm healthy enough. I don't know if I will be this year in February to go, but if I am, I'll find out more next month. If I am, I would love to go to the combine.
Yeah, because then that way I can do like my scouter. I can put my scouting cap on.
Yep.
And I can definitely look at a lot of these players. And plus, too, the chances of you running into these coaches as well, the head coaches, are pretty highly. I can only imagine sitting right there next to Jim Harbaugh and just literally pointing out like a lot of those players.
I would love to do it. I'd probably get kicked out after about an hour because where are you at? I don't know. You're in a restricted area. I didn't know that. But yeah, I want to go to the combine again. I'll find out more about my neck in January. I don't know if I'll be healthy enough to travel in February. So, the combine might not be able for me this year. That's why I'm looking more at the draft because it's in April. That gives me more time.
Right.
So, and then going to the Hall of Fame game, we want to get there the day before and, take a tour of the Hall of Fame, do a live from there and everything, and then the Hall of Fame game.
Hell yeah, dude. That's where it's at.
Thank you, City Boy. I appreciate that. And then I think, what?
If you need more information up and on things, dude, DM me and I would be happy to help you out on a lot of things.
I absolutely will.
I know so many people that are within the industry, dude, because this is actually part of my career. I've been doing this for 6 years and I've had such a great time having the connections and collaborations that I had. And it's only just going to keep going forward from here.
Yeah, I've been doing this since December of last year, late December. And I want to build a football community where you can come on and know that the host is not going to criticize you and not be biased.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want. That is my goal on this channel.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. Mm-hmm.
So, I've been trying to reach out. I was so happy that War Chief Kingdom reached out to me. That was such a blast. I had a whole lot of fun doing his channel, talking about the Broncos and the Chiefs game. I'll send you a DM after we get done with this live. So yeah, I did see the Broncos game, and yeah, it did hurt, but the Broncos needed that loss. I'm sorry, they did. I'm gonna be honest. Broncos needed that loss because it shows you where your weaknesses are. It exposes the cracks in the metal so you can fix it. And I would rather lose now than lose in 3 weeks or 4 weeks. That's where I sit at it. That's where I sit at. I would rather lose now than in 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So I feel that way, and I look at it that way, that it's better. Hi, mamas. I look at it that I would rather take the L now, figure out where the kinks are in the chain, where the cracks are in the metal, and fix it going into January, late December, early January.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if we can do that, again, the loss really did not hurt us. It didn't hurt us in the standings. It didn't hurt us in the standings, but it exposed what needed to be fixed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
So, and again, the Broncos were flying high.
It hurt me.
Well, the loss hurts. It does hurt because your team lost. You lost at home. Your streak is over. Your win streak is over. But again, I would rather lose at home in early December than lose at home in early January.
Yeah, that's very true.
Because that loss at home in early
Yeah, I
January
agree.
is going to hurt 100% more than that loss at home in early December.
I kind of wish we were in the same shoes as y'all because we have to wait and beat these last two games to get first in the division. Y'all are kind of just chilling at the moment.
Well, we've got to win Christmas and have your rival, the Texans, beat the Chargers, and we win the division.
Oh shit, never mind.
And if somehow, some way,
Come on, Chargers!
the Patriots lay an egg to the Jets, which I seriously doubt is going to happen.
They only beat them by 10 last time they played.
And then if the Eagles beat the Bills, and the Patriots lose to the Jets, and the Chargers lose to the Texans, and the Broncos win, the Broncos will secure the #1 overall seed and the AFC West by the end of this week. All of that has to happen.
Jaguars win, they stay first in the division. That's it.
Yeah, you got the Colts. You're playing my boy, Old Man Rivers, who actually looked pretty good, guys. He really did against the 49ers. He looked really good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for a 44-year-old grandpa, he makes me proud.
People keep saying that Leonard's going to play.
He might. I don't know. I mean, he is your rookie out of Notre Dame.
And ended up coming out and saying that Phil is going to start again this week.
Sweet, we're ready to take him on.
It's not even reason to play when they're out of playoffs.
They're not. They're
The-
not quite out of the
They're
division,
they're technically not out of the playoffs. The Colts, as we sit right now, have a 3% chance of making the playoffs. They just need a lot to happen.
Yeah.
How crazy is that, dude? They went from 8-0 to barely gonna make the playoffs.
Yep, they went from 8-1 to now a 3% chance.
I feel like Houston and the Jaguars gotta lose.
Well, the Texans would have to lose, the Jaguars would have to lose, and then they would have to lose next week and the week after that, and the Colts would have to win out.
Yeah, we
Houston
ain't
play the
losing.
Chargers this week.
Jake, Armchair, I want to ask you guys about the Texans game before I gotta go. What's your potential hypothetical that you may think is going to happen on Saturday?
Okay, here's my
Go on
opinion.
there and give BTA.
Go ahead, Archer.
You?
Here's my opinion. CJ Stroud has to control the ball. He doesn't have to win this game, but he sure the hell can't be the reason why they lose it. He has to control the clock. They have to run the ball. He can't turn it over and allow that defense to shut down the Chargers offense. If that happens, the Texans win. If the Texans play,
Defense is nasty.
if the Texans defense plays like we know they can play, Merry Christmas to you as well. If the Texans defense comes out there with, and we gotta be honest, that Chargers offensive line is being held up by bubblegum and chicken wire. It is, unfortunately.
It ain't the best, but they're getting the job done.
But they haven't played this caliber of a defense.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
and this
J-Rock,
last 2
are you
weeks
a
is gonna be
Texans
hell.
fan?
No, J-Rock is a Chargers fan.
Oh, Chargers, okay. I was about to say respectfully, fuck you, but since you're a Chargers.
No, he's a Chargers fan. But
You see this?
it's like I told you earlier. They're going to have to do quick passes.
Yeah.
If Herbert was pressured by the Cowboys, but he was able to get out of it against the Dallas Cowboys. This one, he ain't gonna be able to get out of. You don't want Will Anderson Jr. and them to feast. And that is my worry. And here's another concern. That left arm of Herbert is getting beat up. The entire arm. It's not just his hand anymore. It's his elbow and his forearm is getting beat up.
Houston will be the problem Sunday.
And it's a very tough defense. Now, on the flip side, get a couple turnovers for the meaning the Chargers turn over the Texans, and Herbert, like I said, quick passes, the Chargers could win.
Houston shut down Josh Allen automatically. That Thursday night football.
Did I tell you a reason why I think the game is going to have a different outcome?
You think the Bills will beat the Eagles?
Why do you think that game's gonna have different outcomes?
I think so, just because of the playoff game. I mean, Herbert did have Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt at that time. I think it's how talented the defensive line for the Texans is going to show up or not. They've been pretty consistent throughout the season. Herbert somehow has been escaping and just been figuring it out with the offensive line that he has. He has a way better receiving core than he did last season. Just like what Armchair explained, you're going to have to do lots of quick passes and get.
So that's the rematch of the playoffs last year.
Did one of your running backs get injured or no?
Kamani Vidal did, but he's day to day.
Yeah, Vidal is day to day. If he does not play, that will hurt.
Yeah.
My bad. I had to mute real quick.
No, brother, you're good.
I think that Herbert will figure it out. He's been playing on fire. The Chargers haven't lost a game since the bye week after they're losing to the Jaguars. And I think Harbaugh is going to have a great game plan. This will go down to coaching too. D'Amico Ryans is a hell of a coach.
I love
Just
D'Amico.
Like what Armchair is saying, their game plan is if CJ could just protect the ball and run the clock out.
Yep.
That's the only way the Texans could win. But the window for that, I'm not going to say it's small, but it's right there.
Yeah, it's
I
there.
think the other thing is too, is when it comes to Jim Harbaugh, he only has to see a coaching scheme once.
Yes.
Because then at that point, when he sees it, he's going to end up getting his group together and find ways to adjust it, to attack it, and throw it back at them.
The key to this game for the Chargers, in my opinion, is Herbert has to keep standing up the entire game.
And the defense has to play containment.
I don't think I put it more on Herbert than the defense. And the reason why is Herbert, right? I've been waiting for Herbert to be that shining star I know he can be. And I thought it was going to be this year, but then the injuries and this and that. But if he can stay standing up this entire game, I think the Chargers can do it. Now, if he's not, if there's 3 or 4 sacks, I don't know.
Yeah, that'll change the entire momentum of the game.
I don't know. Because if you put the if the Texans put the Chargers in 2nd down and long, 3rd down and long, that pass rush is going to absolutely eat that offensive line up.
If the Chargers lose, Bronco comes the division come.
If the Chargers lose and the Broncos win, the Broncos win the division.
I feel like it will decide week 18, Chargers and Broncos game.
So, again, as some people were saying, it also depends on what the NFL wants.
Yeah, because the Broncos have the easy game. They don't have Patrick Mahomes on Christmas Day.
Right.
Yeah. It goes down for the Chargers. If the Chargers win on Saturday, it'll go down to week 18 between the
Chargers and the Broncos in Denver.
The Chargers' only opportunity is if they win. If the Broncos win, they win the division and get the first seed.
Yep.
I feel like Justin Herbert can do it.
I don't know, man. I don't know if we barely lost to the Chargers earlier this year in LA. This time you're going to be in Mile High, and that stadium is loud. Last week they recorded it the loudest that Mile High has ever been in its history.
It was the Jaguar game.
So again, if we beat the Chiefs and if the Texans, who I don't know if you guys know her, Tate. She's a huge Texans fan here on TikTok. Tate.
I never heard.
She's a diehard Texans fan.
I feel like Texas is not going to win that game. Their offense is a little bit not playing good this year.
But the Texans need this game. If you look at it, right? All right, hold on. Let me look at something. So let's do a hypothetical here. If the Texans win and the Chargers lose, wow. Wow, this is going to be interesting. It could move the Texans to the 5th seed and the Chargers to the 7th seed.
Yep.
But that also depends on if the Bills beat the Eagles.
Yeah, if the Eagles lose, they'll come the 4th seed. I think, and the Packers will jump over.
Well, no, the Eagles are pretty much locked in at the 3rd seed. The 4th seed cannot jump the Eagles. Unless the Eagles lose out and the Panthers win out.
Who's the 4th seed in NFC right now?
The Panthers.
It should be Carolina.
And they play Seattle.
Yeah, they're not going on top of us. I feel like we can beat
Isn't that
Buffalo.
crazy for Carolina? They have the game of their
I feel like Tampa will make the playoffs.
Well, okay, so Carolina plays the Seahawks and the Buccaneers play the Dolphins. If the Seahawks win and the Buccaneers win, Week 18 between the Panthers and the Buccaneers will be for that division, and it will be glorious.
We can potentially have 3 games that can decide the division in Week 18.
You think the Lions will make the playoffs?
Oh, man, it is so hard for the Lions to make the playoffs.
They have to play Chicago in the final week, too.
And they would have to win out. The Packers would have to lose out. That's the only way. The Packers play the Ravens.
And they have their quarterback?
I have not heard if Lamar's playing or if Love is playing. I have not heard either one yet.
Oh.
Nope. Jordan is not going to play because he's on concussion protocol.
Right, so, and we don't know if Lamar's playing.
Missed one game.
If Lamar Jackson plays, Jordan Love don't play, then the Packers will lose.
If Lamar plays, it's not going to be the best. I think they'll have him play. He's probably going to be day to day. He took a rest day yesterday.
If Lamar plays, he's going to have to deal with that cold weather in the Lambeau.
And that cold weather is going to hurt that back.
And that nobody want to go to Lambeau and play in the cold weather.
So again, if the Packers win,
What's up, Armchair?
what's up, brother? If the Packers win against the Ravens, if the Packers win, they seal the 7th seed, and the Steelers seal the 4th seed. Just in that game alone.
If the Packers lose, Lions win, the Lions have still chance.
If the Packers lose, yes, the Lions would have a chance, but the Lions would have to win out this week and next week, and then the Packers would have to lose next week.
I can't remember the last time the regular season kind of went down to this.
It's been a very long time. It's been over a decade.
So can we all collectively agree, in the words of Demetrius, that the Jacksonville Jaguars are the best team in the AFC?
No, we can't,
I
brother.
wouldn't say that. They're still predictable.
We can't.
No. D said it, and D knows ball.
I'm sorry, brother. I know you love your team, but you came to a guy that's going to be honest. They're not. In my honest opinion, there is not a single team in the playoffs right now out of the 10 teams. J-Rock and I were just talking about this a little bit ago. Out of the 10 teams that have locked their playoff berth, there's not a single one we can sit here and trust and go, yep, they're winning the Super Bowl.
Well, I'm rooting for a Jaguars 49ers Super Bowl.
Especially in the
Hold on,
AFC.
49ers are not going to Super Bowl. Come on.
Until they dog walk your team.
There's nobody you can honestly trust. There isn't. Every team has had ugly wins, ugly losses, and blown out wins. So you can't sit here and go, my mom asked me last night, and my wife asked me yesterday, who do you think is going to the Super Bowl? Looking at it, I can't trust any of these teams. to say 100%
just a few minutes ago,
you're going to the Super Bowl.
Last time the regular season ended out like this, because usually in football
I feel
we
like-
would know by December football who's going to clinch their playoffs or get their playoff spot. We're
I feel
in
like-
late December still trying to figure out
Who's going to win their division? Only one team has locked their division down out of 8 of them.
I feel like this year is Josh Allen day. If Josh Allen stands, he's going to end up winning Super Bowl.
Nah, he's gonna
If
choke
I
like
had
he
to
always
throw a,
does.
if I had to throw a blind bet on it, I would say either the Rams and the Broncos or San Francisco and the Patriots.
The reason why I think Josh Allen is going to have a hard time is his defense.
That's true.
It's the Bills' defense is what bothers me.
I'll tell you what,
100%.
there's a team in the playoffs right now that if they get home field advantage, people are in trouble.
Yeah.
No, because
Who is? Oh, hold on. Who is it, brother?
Hey, chat.
The Pittsburgh Steelers. It's hard to win in Pittsburgh, bro.
Mm.
It ain't easy. You only get one.
Well, I can tell you this right now: the Steelers are not getting home field
Depending on
advantage.
who wins, though.
I'm honestly going to do this.
Because look, if they beat the Chargers, right, and then the Jaguars lose to the Bills, they'll get the Bills in Pittsburgh. If the Texans beat the Patriots and they beat the Chargers, they'll get the Texans in Pittsburgh.
You know the Bills own the Pittsburgh.
Hey, can I
playoffs.
say something though? And this not Josh Allen slander because I love Josh Allen.
So do I.
No, I feel like
I don't
he
know.
can do
I
it.
don't trust the Bills right now. Like,
I don't trust their
the Bills in the
defense.
playoffs.
I 100% do not trust that defense for the Bills.
My defense sucks this year.
Again,
Can't finish games.
all right.
Against them.
Looking at Seattle, do we trust Sam Darnold? No. He's had great games. He's had bad games. The Bears, do we trust Caleb Williams? No. He's had great games. He's had bad games. Looking at the Eagles, do we trust Jalen Hurts? No. He's had great games. He's had bad games. 49ers, Purdy, no. Great games, bad games. Rams, Stafford, no. Great games, bad games. Broncos, Bo Nix, no. Great games, bad games. Patriots, Drake May, great games, bad games.
I think I trust Stafford and Purdy.
Yeah, that's probably the only one I trust. I think Stafford will be the one that.
I love Matthew Stafford. I think he's the MVP, but I do not trust him. He again, every single starting quarterback who is sitting in the playoffs, all 10 of them, Bo Nix, Drake May, Bo Nix, Drake May, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Sam Darnold, Caleb Williams, Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy, and Matthew Stafford. All 10 of them have had great games and horrible games throughout this entire year.
That's facts.
Like Eagles started their season 4-0 and they take their first L against the Denver Broncos at home.
Hey, Armchair.
Okay,
It's like if you was to ask like who finna go and get me this win. Like usually we could say Mahomes or we know. Like right now we don't know. Nothing.
That's what I'm saying. You know, my mom and my wife asked me yesterday, who are your two teams going to the Super Bowl? And as I sit, I don't even think at the end of week 18, we could sit here and honestly say, yeah, this team has a great path to win it, and this team has a great path to win it. Even after week 18. Because, again, okay, you're a Chargers fan, J-Rock. You're playing the Texans, the number one defense. Are you worried, yes or no?
Hell yeah.
There you go.
As a fan, we're like unsure. Nobody knows what's going to happen.
Exactly. We're playing the Kansas City Chiefs. Everybody thinks the Broncos are going to walk all over the Chiefs.
Care about their defense.
And I'm scared to face the Buffalo Sunday.
You don't see that's the bias of being a Jaguars fan.
I'm sorry, Bryce, my brother. I love you. Bryce.
For you to sit here and tell me that you're not worried about a defense who's been the best defensive football for the past 3 years, and this year is by far the toughest defense that Texans have had in the last 3 years. You tell me you're not worried about them. You're smoking.
I'm sorry. I'm old. I'm of old school football. I've been watching football since the late 80s. Defense wins you championships. Offense gets you there.
Yep.
That Texans team can win a game by their defense themselves.
I am 100% that way.
It would be one thing if they've shown it towards my team, but they really haven't.
But Bryce, brother, you can't. Hold on, dog.
Davis Mills.
But Bryce, my brother,
Bad loss, dude. We already discussed this.
Like
It's-
the offense of the CJ
Right.
Stroud play his football and the defense stop, they can win it in the Super Bowl.
but that's what I'm trying to get. Bryce, Bryce, let me be honest here. Bryce, let me be honest here.
Awareness and shit.
Let me be honest here, Bryce. I am not dogging, and you know I will never do it because I've never done it. I am not dogging a single quarterback that is locked going to the playoffs right now. What I'm trying to get across is there's not a quarterback that's in the playoffs right now that you can 100% sign, seal, deliver, go, he's winning me the Super Bowl.
Oh, 100%. But like I said, I'm not scared of Texas defense. That was just my comment. The only team that I'm scared of is the Rams.
I wouldn't even be worried about the Rams.
That's crazy.
Dude, the Rams had a huge letdown because of coaching.
You can't say you're not worried about the Rams, bro.
The
I mean,
Rams
that's
are
a
easy.
Matthew Stafford MVP.
I love Matthew Stafford, but what I'm saying is, did the Rams not just have a huge meltdown against the Seattle Seahawks?
They lost that
No,
game.
I didn't think they were. I didn't think it was a meltdown.
Panthers.
I'm talking about the last game. Did the Rams just have a huge letdown against the Seattle Seahawks?
Yes.
I would say no.
Yes.
I would say no.
You were up.
And I can tell you, I'll tell you why. Because that game gets switched and turned into a whole different type of conversation off of a 2-point conversion that no one thought was a fumble that was just randomly picked up by a Seattle player.
Okay, I'm going to agree with you on that. But who got the ball back? Did the Rams get the ball back after that?
Nope.
Yes.
Yes, they did.
3 and out.
We go into overtime. The Rams march down and score. We go into overtime and the Rams march down and score.
Going on and go ahead, score.
And their defense did not stop Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks had to score 16 points in the fourth quarter to even make it to overtime.
That's crazy.
You had not punted until the fourth quarter. You did not have a 3 and out until the fourth quarter, and you had 3 in a row. The Rams choked that game away.
Okay. Yeah. I see where you're coming from. Yeah. They had a meltdown.
Would you say the Rams beat themselves or the Seahawks?
The Rams 100% beat themselves.
Yeah, I think they beat themselves. Yeah.
No,
They
Rams-
took their foot off the pedal.
Yeah, I would
The
drop
games
you.
that they
Then
lost
we
was
can
Seattle,
arguably
San
say that the
Francisco,
Jaguars
and
beat
Philadelphia.
themselves against the Texans.
100% we can. That is what I'm trying to say. When you go into the playoffs, coaching is a key factor. Quarterbacking is a key factor.
Someone's got a lot.
I know, City Boy. What's going on, City Boy? You got a lot of background noise, brother.
He's tossing in the sheets.
Ah.
All right.
So,
Rams in the East.
going into the playoffs, you've got to worry about your coach. You got to worry about your quarterback, right? We got to worry about all of this. On top of that, there is not a team. Yeah, LA looks great. The Rams look 100% great. 100%. But you just laid a goose, right? You took your foot off the throat of the Seattle Seahawks and they beat you. The Jaguars, you took your foot off the throat of the Texans and they beat you. The Broncos, you could say the same thing. We took our foot off because of all the mistakes we had. And the Jaguars beat us because of our mistakes. There is not a single team in the playoffs right now, as we're sitting, going into week 17, going, they're my Super Bowl favorites. They're going to win it all. Can't say about the Bills, because you can't trust Sean McDermott. You can't trust that defense.
They don't got no receivers. That's the problem over there.
The Broncos. The Broncos. Do we trust Sean Payton, a second-year quarterback? The Patriots. Do we trust Drake May, who's only had one 300-yard game, 300-yard passing game this year, and only one because Harbaugh screwed up? Because Harbaugh coached like Harbaugh. The Chargers. Do we trust that offense? Merry Christmas, Matthew. The Seahawks. Do we trust Sam Darnold?
No.
Do we trust the second-year Caleb Williams, who's been a wave all year? He's played great and he's played bad. If it wasn't for a fluke onside kick, they lose to the Packers in Chicago. The Eagles. Are we really trusting Jalen Hurts in that offense?
I don't trust the
No,
offense.
but you can trust that defense.
Oh, I trust the Eagles defense.
Say what, you can trust that defense, though.
And then you look at the 49ers, right? They've been beat up all year. They are literally a walking mash unit.
Yeah, and George Kittle was probably going to be out this week, too.
Because he's got a bad
He just
ankle.
had a high ankle sprain.
Then you look at the Rams. The Rams, you could say they could do it. But the Rams just screwed themselves by poor coaching. Poor coaching is what lost them the first seed. They took their foot off the throats of the Seattle Seahawks and gave not only the game away. This is what's more important. They didn't just give the game away. They gave the number 1 seed away, and they possibly gave the division away.
And they lost their home game in advancing in the playoffs.
So,
You're going to be streaming tomorrow? You're going to be watching the Broncos game?
oh, well, I'm going to be watching all 3 games, my brother. Will I be streaming? No, because I got all my family coming over.
But definitely, if you're going to be streaming Saturday and Sunday, I will definitely come and holler at you.
All right, J-Rock.
You take it easy, all right? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, my brother. Guys, I am going to end the live here. I am losing my voice because of the surgery. I've got swelling on my voice, on my throat. So I wish every single one of you a Merry Christmas. I really do. I know that I love you and my family loves you, and I'm not just saying that to say it. I 100% mean it. I love you too, mamas. You guys are great. You're helping me build a community. You're helping me build a platform that gives people the freedom to come and talk about their teams. And if it wasn't for you, this channel wouldn't be anything. So again, from my family to yours, Merry Christmas. We love you. We hope you guys have a great Christmas. Have fun. Be safe. Don't try to deep fry a frozen turkey. Have fun. Have fun with your family. Love them. Have a great time. And I will see you guys possibly on Saturday. Peace.
Merry Chrysler.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.